Imagine this. You're on a peaceful beach vacation with your family. Everything seems fine until suddenly a storm begins to form. The waves grow stronger. The winds become aggressive and danger slowly builds. Your daughter and niece, excited to swim, rush into the water without fully hearing your warning. Moments later, you hear them scream. They're both caught in a strong current, being pulled away from shore. You panic, but you are a skilled swimmer. You know one thing for sure. You can only save one. This is where the ethical dilemma begins. Do you save your own daughter? Or do you save your niece? This case study is entitled Swim for Life. There is no easy answer. No matter what you choose, one life may be lost. This situation forces a person to decide between emotion, responsibility, and morality, all in just a few seconds.
Let us now analyze the problem. The root case of this situation is miscommunication and lack of attention. The girl did not fully listen to the instruction given to them, which led them into a dangerous situation. At the same time, environmental factors such as the storm and strong current made the situation even more critical and life-threatening. Because of these combined factors, the dilemma became unavoidable, placing the decision-maker in every difficult position where saving both may not be possible. This situation presents not only a physical challenge, but also a moral-emotional conflict. It forces a person to choose between two lives, but equally important, making the decision extremely painful and complex. Now, let us move to the first option. The first option is to save your daughter. This decision is supported by the critical theory or ethical egoism, which focuses on prioritizing personal interests or close relationships. According to this theory, individuals have the right to act in ways that benefit themselves or those closest to them. As a parent, it is natural to feel a stronger responsibility toward your own child. There is a deep emotional bond, but as well as a moral duty to protect and care for your daughter above all else. Saving your daughter may feel like the most instinctive and immediately decision, especially in a life or death situation where time is limited. However, this choice raises serious moral concern. It may seem unfair to the niece, who is also in danger and equally valuable as a human being. Choosing one life over another can lead to feelings, guilt, regret, and emotional consequences in the future. In the end, while saving your daughter may be understandable and emotionally justified, it still remains a morally difficult decision because it involves sacrificing another life.
Now, let us turn our attention to the second option. This option is to save the niece. It is supported by the ethical theory of altruism, which emphasizes selflessness, compassion, and the moral duty of putting others before oneself. Choosing to save the niece means setting aside personal attachment. Now, let us turn our attention to the second option. This option is to save the niece. It is supported by the ethical theory of altruism, which emphasizes selflessness, compassion, and the moral duty of putting others before oneself. Choosing to save the niece means setting aside personal attachment and prioritizing another person's life. Such choice can be seen as noble and virtuous, reflecting the idea that morality sometimes requires sacrifice. It demonstrates a willingness to endure personal loss in order to preserve the life of another. However, this decision is not without consequences. For the parent, failing to save their own child may lead to profound emotional pain, grief, and regret. The altruistic act, while morally admirable, could leave scars that the last lifetime, raising difficult questions about whether selflessness should outweigh natural parental instinct. Moving on to the third option, the decision here is to save the individual who has the highest chance of survival. This approach is grounded in utilitarianism, a philosophy that seeks to maximize overall well-being by achieving the greatest possible good for the greatest number of people. Unlike the second option, which is guided by emotion and compassion, this choice relies on logic, quick judgment, and practicality. The goal is not to favor one person over another, but to ensure that at least one life is preserved. While this may appear cold or detached, it increases the probability of survivals and minimizes total loss.
After analyzing all options, the best group has decided that the best solution is to save the person with a higher chance of survival. This decision is guided by the ethical theory of utilitarianism in a life-or-death situation. Where time is limited, the most practical action is to maximize the outcome by choosing the individual who is easier to rescue. The rescuer increases the chance of survival of life. Although this decision may be emotionally difficult, it is the most rational and outcome-based approach. It avoids the risk of losing both individuals and focuses on what can realistically be done in that moment. In conclusion, this case shows how complex ethical decision-making can be, especially under pressure. After the situation, it is important to provide emotional support, reflect on experience, and improve awareness and safety measures in the future. This reminds us that sometimes the hardest choices are not about right or wrong, but about doing the best we can in the worst situation. Thank you for listening.